Welcome to Ascend. It's April in South Dakota, and that means cool air, melting snow, and plenty of waterfowl making their way back to the prairie potholes. In this episode of Ascend, we're headed to Wallace, a town of 91 people in northeast South Dakota, to meet Madison Grimm. Ever since she was a child, she's been drawn to the outdoors and waterfowl. Her father, Adam Grimm, was the youngest person to ever win the federal duck stamp competition. And at age 6, Madison continued the legacy by being the youngest ever to win the junior duck stamp. Thank you to our sponsors, Dry Pocket, auto sealing, floating, waterproof gear that keeps your essentials safe and can help keep you afloat. And stay dry, stay comfortable, and stay in the hunt with Muck Boots, 100% waterproof, built for the toughest conditions. Muck, the official boot of hunters.
I've won the Junior Duck Stamp Contest 3 times. I'm the youngest to ever win it, and also have won it the most times of anyone ever.
I remember Madison drawing when she was little, like on a little chalkboard, like a little kid chalkboard, like probably only this high. And I think she was like 2 years old, and she drew some people on there. And I'm not gonna say they were great or anything, but looking at it, I remember thinking, wow, that seems like pretty good for 2.
I don't know, I just grew up watching Dad paint pretty much my whole life, so I mean, my first word Mom and Dad told me was duck, so not mama or dada or anything like that. I mean, I've grown up watching Dad paint and photographing and hunting, and it just kind of seemed natural to just go into painting once I was old enough and had a little bit more patience. I mean, for me, that was like 6, so.
I had to practice some different things, techniques, and talk with her about like my thought process when I'm doing a painting. And it's like, it just clicked with her. Like you could see it.
And this is the studio. So I have this painting I just started here. It's in progress. I started a couple days ago. Just getting some things blocked in. And then this is my junior entry from last year. I came in 2nd nationally, but it was pretty fun. I think this is my favorite painting I've done so far.
That first painting that she did with oil paints, that she entered in the Junior Duck Stamp Contest. For her age, I was like, wow, like I can't believe how good it turned out. When we found out that she won Best of Show for the state of South Dakota, I remember just being shocked. It wasn't until, I don't know, several weeks later when they had the national competition, a friend of ours called and asked if we were watching it, and we weren't watching it. And she said, well, you might want to put it on. She said, Madison's painting is doing really well. And I said, well, how well? She's like, well, she's in like the top 5. I said, in the country? They were announcing the winners, and the girl that had called us told me, I think Madison won. And I'm like, that's impossible. She's only 6. Like, how could her painting have won?
I just remember seeing them hold up my painting and announce, and the first place is Madison Grimm. And it was just pretty shocking. I had no idea what all that would entail, and yeah, just to win at that age. I mean, I was giving speeches and presentations and traveling, and it was a lot, but it was a pretty good experience. It was really fun.
She ended up doing another painting. I think she was 12, and sent it in, and it won Best of Show for South Dakota, and then first place nationally. She ended up entering again a couple years later, and she won the whole thing again. It was like, wow, like she actually really has a lot of ability. And then she just kept developing it, and you could just see it from painting to painting, the improvements.
Well, when I won the Junior Duck Stamp Contest the 2nd time, that was right during COVID. It was 2020. I mean, I sold my painting. I still made prints and sold some prints. So I thought it'd be really cool to maybe take some of that money and build an aviary. I had met a friend in Wisconsin that had an aviary, and she has like hundreds of ducks, all the different species. And I just thought it'd be really cool to be able to do that. So I asked Dad, and I was pretty nervous because I was like, I don't think he's gonna like this idea. It sounds like a lot of work.
She said, if I buy all the supplies, would you help me build it? And that was hard for me to tell her no, because I love waterfowl. I've always kind of secretly wanted an aviary.
It's 36 by 48 feet. I have this attached 10 by 16 shed that the ducks can go in the winter and stuff. We poured a concrete pond, and it's about 18 inches deep. The divers and stuff love like that especially. I have over 100 ducks, all wild species, and they were all purchased from other licensed aviaries and zoos. So I have 17 different species of ducks. I have a couple pairs of each, but I have canvasbacks, redheads, hooded mergansers, Barrow's goldeneye, common goldeneye. I have wood ducks, mandarin ducks, shoveler, gadwall, pintail, widgeon, greenwing, cinnamon, and blue-winged teal. I have a all-flock type feed that they just get during the day. It's like just a commercial-made feed. And then I also give them black soldier fly larvae, which are these. They love those. It's their favorite. Other than that, just really checking them all over every day, making sure there's no injuries or illness or anything like that. But yeah, we can just come and sit right in here, just take all the pictures you want. They're not afraid of you really at all. And then even if I'm like working on a painting, sometimes I'll come out and just stand here and watch them, whatever species I'm painting, so. In the winter in South Dakota, we have to put a lot of stuff in the basement to help keep them warm and not freeze to death. So we have chicks over here, we have a baby bobwhite quail that's down here. We have 2 rabbits, fish, lizards, and all my incubators are all down here. Which I don't think Mom likes too much because it takes over the basement a little bit, but I think she secretly likes it. It's kind of fun. So these are all my eggs here. I only have 3 incubators running right now. I have 9. And come June, I'll have them all going. I'll have multiple tables set up. These are my 3 most reliable ones, so I just start with those. I'll brood them down here for like a week or 2 just to make sure they're eating well. And then I'll move them out to my shed, which I can hang heat lamps and stuff in. And then once they're fully feathered, I'll either put them just straight out in the aviary or into like a little outdoor pen so they can get used to it. And then in the fall, I'll sell almost everything. I'll keep back a handful for myself, but the incubating and hatching I've learned a lot from because that's a lot of work. But I've gotten pretty good at it. Usually my hatch rates are like 90% plus now, so that's pretty good for wild species of ducks. We have quite a few wood ducks, so it's kind of fun to go put the wood duck boxes up. Yeah, it definitely helps the population, helps protect them from other squirrels and stuff too, because they're not really looking around water quite as much. Yeah, my family definitely has played a huge role in my journey, especially my dad, but my mom and siblings too. I mean, I would definitely not be where I am without them, so they've helped support all of my adventures in keeping birds. Mom's been very lenient in letting me keep them in the house. My siblings help out with stuff. They're all into birds and everything too, so.
I know that having me as a dad and the interests that I have obviously has affected my children. I mean, they all know all the ducks. They all know, this area. They all have an excitement in their voice when they talk about, oh, I saw these beautiful northern shovelers. Well, there were canvasbacks on the other slough, and it's neat. I mean, it kind of fills my heart to hear them talking about nature, God's creation with such joy and passion.
Yeah, being out there watching sunrises with my dad, photographing or hunting or even just watching the birds. It's kind of special just being able to share that with him because it's a lot of the time just him and I. So it's like our special time to just talk and visit and just watch beauty around us.
I can't believe that she's as tough as she is, like going and sitting out in the cold, in the mud, or on the ice, whatever we're doing, and that she's excited about it. Like, she's excited to get home and look through her photos to see, like, what she got, which is so funny because it's the same way that I am.
I'm also working on starting a nonprofit. So we're in the prairie pothole region of South Dakota, and it's a huge critical breeding ground for nesting waterfowl. With the increased farming and habitat loss and draining of wetlands, ducks are forced to nest in farm fields way more than they ever have been before. And when they nest in the farm fields, a lot of the time they get destroyed by disking or haying or mowing, all that kind of stuff. So my goal is to get federally licensed and to be able to salvage, hatch, and release those eggs back into the wild. I'm planning on calling my nonprofit Second Chance Flight because it'll be saving all the ducklings that never would have had a chance at life if I hadn't stepped in and the farmers hadn't, called me and rescued them.
Madison has, I think, a passion for nature. The same passion I think that I have. She is more than happy to throw on some waders and go trudging through a marsh. Her aviary is a tremendous amount of work in the winter, and she'll put on her warm clothes and all of her stuff and go out and break ice out of the pond. So, I mean, there's a passion that she has for the birds and for nature. And the art is kind of just an outward expression of that passion. And that's what it is for me.
Well, I'm definitely planning on keeping painting. I want to enter the federal duck stamp this year, see how that goes. Hopefully many more times after that. My goal is to win it someday. So, because a junior duck stamp winner has never gone on to actually win the federal duck stamp contest. So I'd love to actually do that, as long as no one else does it before me, I guess.
Not everyone connects with nature the same way. It might be painting, taking a walk outside, or enjoying a hunt. However you choose to connect, what matters most is stepping outside and appreciating all nature has to offer. Thank you for watching Ascend, and a big thank you to Dry Pocket and the Muck Boot Company for supporting this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. Ascend, authentic women, outdoor adventures.